President Donald Trump made a prediction that would have a devastating impact on the mainstream media if it were to come true. In an interview with the New York Times published Thursday, subscription required, Trump predicted that he would not only win re-election in 2020, but added that if he did not win, the media would tank without him because their ratings would go down the tubes. "We're going to win another 4 years for a lot of reasons, most importantly because our country is starting to do well again and we're being respected again," Trump said in the interview, according to Newsweek. "But another reason that I'm going to win another 4 years is because newspapers, television, all forms of media will tank if I'm not there because without me, the ratings are going down the tubes," he added. The president has a point. For the past year and a half, the mainstream media has changed its focus from reporting news to one that takes down the president and his family whenever possible. Trending, after Colley promotes secession, they're faced with biggest threat yet. The New York Times is so desperate to destroy Trump that it has ruined its credibility more than once attempting to do so. CNN, MSNBC, and The Washington Post have followed suit, demonstrating just how biased and unreliable they are. Trump, who tends to refer to the newspaper as the failing New York Times in his Twitter postings, went on to explain how the Times needs him. "Without me, the New York Times will indeed be not the failing New York Times, but the failed New York Times," he said. Needless to say, a failed New York Times is something hundreds of thousands of Americans would love to see. Trump even said the mainstream media would eventually cheer him on to the White House because it would be in its financial interest to do so. "So they basically have to let me win," the president said. "And eventually, probably 6 months before the election, they'll be loving me because they're saying, 'Please, please, don't lose Donald Trump.'" Related, James Woods unleashes truth behind science after Warren starts crying climate change. Mainstream outlets and liberals will be sure to call the president's remarks arrogant and unprofessional, like they always do, but he has already proven he does not need their support. He has the support of the American people. It's hard to imagine the mainstream media was rooting for Trump. But stranger things have happened. H.T. Washington Examiner, share the story and let us know if you agree with what the president had to say. What do you think of Trump's prediction that the media will fail if he loses in 2020? Scroll down to comment below.